Hi everyone, it's Craig from Sports Obsessive. I'm honored to be joined by former Knockouts and Knockouts Tag Team Champion and representing Decay, our very own Hive mother, Rosemary. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Excited to talk to you. I'm also very excited about Hard to Kill coming up January 8th and live on Fight TV. Of course, you have a very big match coming up at that show.
Well, just a little bit.
It's
This is just a tiny one.
only a history making match. It's
yes. It's only never before seen Ultimate X in the Knockouts division, but we don't need to.
Exactly. Knockouts Ultimate X competing with Chelsea Green, Lady Frost, Jordan Grace, Rachel Ellering, and Tasha Steeles.
Yes.
How excited are you to be a part of history and make a little bit more history should you win?
It's honestly very exciting. The Demon Assassin has been part of TNA and Impact Wrestling since 2016, and since about 2017, we've been planting the seeds, trying to convince them to give the Knockouts a chance in the Ultimate X match. And finally, it has come to fruition. So now all we've got to do is do it. But it's very exciting because we know that we've honestly always been poised to break barriers, to try things, to do as much as we can in Impact Wrestling, in the sense that we want it to be a spectacle. We want it to be somewhere to tune into. We want it to be, what's Rosemary going to do next on Impact Wrestling? We want to keep everyone guessing. And the fact that we got involved, and the fact that we were given the honor, really the due diligence of being put into this Ultimate X match, something that we have worked very hard towards, and we feel that we've earned. And to be able to do so with 5 other very different, very exciting 5 other humans that bring something unique to themselves to this match. And not only is it a first time for the Ultimate X being in the Knockouts division, but it's also a first time for several of us to interact in the ring. We don't know particularly Lady Frost very well, so she brings this unknown element to the match. So it's already the unknown of facing the structure that the Knockouts have never faced before, but now these 6 opponents as well, who now have to keep an eye on each other, as well as this death-defying monstrosity above us.
Yeah, it's one I'm certainly excited about, and I know a lot of the Impact faithful and the Hivelings are very excited for as well.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say that you have one of the most unique personas in wrestling. And I'm curious as to how you discovered your inner demon and how the Hivelings could maybe discover their inner demon.
Sometimes all you have to do is ask. It turned out that this particular meat suit was an absolute match for what we needed to exist in this human realm, and she provided the physical abilities needed for professional wrestling, and our demon soul provided the absolute sadistic, weapon-loving violence, chaos, and just desire to win, this drive. So combined, we've created this machine, perhaps this agent of violence that we brought into Impact Wrestling, and since the start have taken part in 6 Sides of Steel matches, Monsters Ball matches, Full Metal Mayhem matches, and now Ultimate X. This is exactly the vessel that our little demon soul needed to bring into this, and we are having just so much fun. So, and what you're asking for the Hivelings, for the children of the Hive, to tap into their own demon, to pledge yourself to the shadow, just to let it out, let your pure darkness reveal. Don't lie to yourselves and try to pretend something you're not. Decay was formed to be a place of belonging for the unbelonging, for the weirdos to thrive. And every single one of you, the children of the Hive, every single one of you little weirdos, you belong here.
Well, that's good to know. I'm sure the fellow Hivelings will be glad to know there's a way into being your own demon. Now, as part of Decay, we've had some incredible rivalries from the start to where we are now. It's probably difficult to just pick out just one, but out of all of Decay's rivals, who have you most enjoyed facing, and who do you feel you've learned quite a lot from?
Yes, as you say, it would be very difficult to pick out just one, as we've had so many, and each of them have taught us something new, and each of them have helped us grow in certain ways on both the battlefield and knowing who we are personally. So we're going to have to, well, perhaps take the easy road out, but we're going to have to take our first true, real feud in TNA when Decay first arrived in 2016, and it's the Wolves. We arrived in 2016 and immediately tackled who were the tag team champions at the time, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards of the Wolves, because as the old human cliche saying goes, you'd find the biggest dog in the yard and take them out. What we had to do, the literal biggest dog were the Wolves in the yard. So obviously we went after them. And fighting with them for the first several months of Decay's existence really put us on the map, really let people know that we were a force to be reckoned with. And we were taking on the best of the best, because we went on to Beer Money after that. And it was off and running. And Decay was violence personified. And we let people know right off the hop. And now, especially since now we fast forward to 2022 coming into it, and Eddie Edwards and Rosemary are the two longest active existing wrestlers on the Impact roster. There has been we started as enemies, and now there is this mutual respect between ourselves and Eddie Edwards because we've gone so long.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. My personal favorite is the Great War of the Hardys.
Yes.
That's always happened.
Yes.
But
do we get there without establishing the war with the Wolves? Do we get to the Hardys? Do we become as big a threat to the Hardys as we were without the Wolves, without Beer Money? So we have to go back to the start.
I can't disagree. It's just, when you first came in, something felt different, and it's felt exciting, and it's continued since. Now, you mentioned Eddie Edwards and how you're both as kind of veterans now, currently in Impact, and you've been there in different times. What would you say so far has been a highlight? Like, really, when you think about from where you started from TNA to where you are currently, when you just think of the first thing that as a highlight that you look back on and think Decay or Rosemary has been, this is where it started, or this is where we really hit our stride?
So now we'll bring into the House Hardy and the Delete or Decay and the Great War. All of that definitely brought forward and brought to a more mainstream focus of the effect and of cinematic matches done in a way to enhance characters such as ours, and to present Decay, especially with Delete or Decay, taking all presence at the Hardy compound, really brought forth a different look at what could be done with professional wrestling. And now look where that's gone with like Wrestle House and multiple different cinematic matches that have featured people who maybe wouldn't be able to express what they did in those matches elsewhere. So the feud with House Hardy definitely hit us astride there as Decay. And then as the Demon Assassin alone, for our own accomplishments, the 6 Sides of Steel with Jade at the end of 2016 really broke out and let audiences know that perhaps weren't as familiar with us, because we did start in Canada, which is a little bit lesser known. So unless you were familiar with Smash Wrestling, you didn't see the Demon before we entered TNA. So that Six Sides of Steel with Jade really let people know what we were capable of, because we hadn't wrestled but twice on Impact on TNA before that moment, and that let people know that we were both dangerous and love doing this, and we're very good at it.
Very, very good. The Monsters Ball match between yourself and Jade is up there as one of the best knockouts feuds for me. It's simply phenomenal. Of course, you mentioned Jade there, and of course, recently became a free agent, and Impact have done a great job of bringing in such phenomenal free agents. Is there anyone who maybe just besides Jade who recently just became a free agent, or someone who Impact have brought in that you could see perhaps making impact themselves in Decay?
Isn't it interesting at this moment in time in particular that there are an awful lot of free agents that have connections to the Demon Assassin all of a sudden? Jade being free, one of our greatest enemies, one of our greatest rivals, the Red versus Blue saga is one of our favorites in our entire career. And then there's Taya Valkyrie, who's just been released from prison. We're not too thrilled with her, if we're honest. She did go to prison, yes, for attempted murder, but that attempted murder did foil a lot of our plans that we were trying to do. Of course, she meant them in good faith, but it still cost us virgin blood, and we really needed that. So she's got to answer to us, but if she wants to get back on our good side first. And then there's people such as the Hex, operating over in NWA. Allison Kay and Marty Bell, who are two former Impact TNA knockouts, and who have recently formed a tag team. And we've got a nice new tag team division in Impact Wrestling ourselves in the Knockouts division. And yes, while Havoc and ourselves are no longer the champions, it doesn't mean we wouldn't like more tag competition. So if the Hex is listening, hello.
That's honestly something I know I've thought about when the Hex first became NWA Tag Team Champions. Of course, you at the time, you're the current Knockouts Tag Team Champions. So I thought maybe there could have been something there, but
we put it out there. The inspiration got there first, apparently.
Now I want to be respectful of the time, so I'll finish with this. Is there anyone either from Impact past, TNA past, Impact past, or present that you haven't had a great war with that you'd like to from TNA or an Impact?
It's difficult to say because we never fantasized really about battles. Where there are so many wars that we could have that are at our fingertips right now with people. We rarely think about what could have been or fantasy matches that may never be. But there is one, and we do mention it several times because there are certain people in TNA's history that without their existence, there is no path carved for the Demon Assassin. And several times we have mentioned someone who was, we're not even sure if she knows how influential she was almost, but Nikki Roxx, who was Roxy Laveau, the Voodoo Queen in TNA at the time, somebody who was very influential on us in the younger years, even before we were taken over by the Demon. She very formative and very impactful on us, which is one of the reasons that we actually asked her permission to use a modified version of the Voodoo Drop as our finisher. The As Above, So Below is a butterfly modification on her Hammerlock Voodoo Drop. So it is absolutely meant to be as tribute to Roxy Laveau.
I never knew that. That's learn something new every day. Well, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out to come chat with me today. It's been a goal of mine to chat with you because you're such a fascinating persona, and everything about Decay is on fire right now. And I look forward to everything you do on Impact coming up. I especially look forward to Hard to Kill on January 8th, live on Fight TV. Rosemary, I want to say thank you and good luck with Impact and everything that comes forward.
Thank you. It was an absolute pleasure, darling.
Yeah, thank you so much.